Welcome back to Built by Bailey's. We are back on the Nook job site, shipping container build up in the mountains. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how we did all the electrical in this shipping container home. So let's get started. All right, first I'm going to give you a brief overview of what we did throughout the entire container, kind of a general synopsis, and then I'm going to walk you around this 2-bedroom, 1-bath container home and talk about the different things we did electrically that might be different from conventional construction, and then all the stuff that is just like conventional construction, and you guys can get a really good idea of options out there and kind of what you may want to look for if you're going to be building one of these shipping container homes. All right, so first things first, we had a long, if you guys didn't check it out, make sure you do check it out, a long trench dug to get power from basically our pedestal, our overhead pole, all the way up to our building envelope, the building site where the container is sitting, with fantastic views. However, it's not going to be cheap to do this. And so once we get the trench dug completed, we're almost there. We're going to go ahead and lay our underground line from the meter all the way up to this house. That part is not conventional, okay? Basically everything else in this container is. So let's talk about everything that is exactly the same. As you can see behind me, I've got a 3-gang switch box right here. I've got a 3-way. I know some of you guys don't know what some of this stuff is. That's okay. I've got a 3-way switch that's running in here for a switch leg back over to the other side, meaning I can turn on lights, the overhead cans that we're doing, which are 4-inch, really cool looking recessed lights, and then I can actually turn on the power on the other side for lights as well. You guys have seen that in plenty of homes. So all of this electrical is very, very conventional. We have furred out, meaning we have framed walls using 2x4 construction all around the container and the areas where you want to put up a wall surface of some sort. I'll be drywall, wood, planking, whatever it ends up being in here. We were kind of waffling, that's why I say that. We furred out all those walls so we can hang a wall substrate onto the framing just like we would do if we were going to build a house, stick built. However, the difference is, I said, yes, 2x4 construction. If anybody is watching this video that lives in a colder climate or has more restrictive R-value conditions, we usually frame by a minimum 2x6 exterior wall. But if we did a 2x6 exterior wall all the way through here, because we're working with containers, we're going to lose a lot of extra space. So we're going with 2x4 construction, but with a 3.5-inch or more furred direction from the steel, on the exterior, I can get at least an R21 with a closed cell foam. We will do a video on that as well, so make sure you guys, if you haven't, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can catch that video as well. Okay, so I've got 14 and 12 gauge for most of the wiring that's in here, and I've done everything exactly the same as a conventional stick-built house. As you can see behind me, it's a nail-on box for new construction. I'm stapling everything per code as needed, and we're running everything per our electrical plans. Okay, so that is very, very typical construction. Again, another reason why you want to fur out these walls, even if you're not as restrictive in R values in those conditions, this makes a lot of things easier. Now, let's go over and check out the metal wall we're going to leave exposed on the interior of the container, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that, what we're doing with that electrical as well. Okay, so as you can see in here, we are exposing this wall on the interior of our structure on both sides. So I'm kind of standing in where the vanity is going to go over the bathroom. We're going to walk through this wall here, or this opening here, and this wall is exposed as well. Okay? So we've got 3 doors: bedroom, bathroom, other bedroom. They're going to have rail doors for each one of these, and we've got both sides of this metal exposed. So now you're asking, okay, so how are we doing our construction? Well, it's actually not all that atypical. Again, we're going to be doing what we're required to do for spacing for receptacles, switch boxes, so forth. And because if you look down here, this is running down, we do have a crawl space. We're running everything up from the floor to get to this wall to make things a lot easier to run our home runs, but we're doing exposed metal conduit. Just like you would do with a lot of commercial aspects, this is exactly what we're doing with this wall to run our electrical for lighting. You can see we blocked out here for our lights and our smoke detector and our bath fan. And then we just run our typical conduit construction. It's going to be exposed electrical, not meaning this way, but we're going to have exposed boxes, and then we're going to have our conduit runs for our wire. Okay, so that's basically how we're doing it. Now, if you guys want, drop in the comments below, should we continue? These were kind of accidentally painted black. I'm kind of waffling as to whether I'm mad or not about that. But all these were, when we painted the interior wall, our electrical was already done, and these accidentally were not taped off and got painted. I'm not sure if we should paint this stuff black to hide it, or if we should go back and paint it to expose it the same, basically stainless steel color that they come in conduit. So let me know what you think. We haven't decided yet. Most likely we're probably going to paint them. Okay, so running our lighting is very typical as well. We're doing the same thing in here. I have a 2x8 furred ceiling to make sure, again, we're going to get our R value, which is a required minimum R49 for insulation. Because we're not over-framing the exterior of the roof, we have to come back down in here and frame and spray foam, closed cell foam again, the interior. But again, that leaves us the option to go with typical, just like a typical stick-built construction home. We're able to run our electrical through these ceiling joists everywhere we need to go and nail them up. If we were to do an overframed roof and leave the ceiling exposed, we would have to come back with the same type of exposed conduit electrical for that condition. So if you can see through here, we can walk through the kitchen. See if this catches up. There you go. Everything is pretty typical, and I know you guys are looking at all these wires coming down and wondering what that is. That's all of our 4-inch and our 2-inch cans, minus our smoke detector, running in here. And these actually get, the way they get installed, the application here is, you leave this wire tucked up and then marked, diagram on plans exactly where each one of these cans goes in the ceiling. And then we come back and we'll cut out our drywall, knowing where our mark on the floor is, and we pop in basically a retrofit 4-inch can. We don't have the metal housing we're using anymore. This is kind of like the next step in electrical lighting technology. And they're really cool. They're actually really easy to install. We're not running a bunch of wire through a bunch of metal boxes and then trying to cut around it for drywall. We just pop those suckers right back in. So these all get tucked in after spray foam. And again, I have to leave little pockets for this wire so I don't foam around this and have to cut out the spray foam later. That's a bitch. And then we go ahead and have everything marked, diagrammed, measured on plans so we can go find them in the ceiling, cut out that spot, pop in the can right in there, and then run the wire through there and it's done. So that's how we're doing our electrical in this container home. All right, guys, that's it. Really simple video. Hopefully that made sense. It's giving you some information to run your electrical, or if you have questions on how to do it for a container home, it's really not that much different than doing stick-built construction, especially when we're coming in here and we're doing kind of some different aspects with an exposed metal wall and so forth. So if you got any other questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Hit the thumbs up if this was information that was beneficial to you, and make sure you hit that bell for notifications. Catch all the videos. The Nook playlist is here on the channel. You can watch all the stuff we've done up to this point. And I appreciate you guys stepping in and watching this video. Until next time, keep building.